Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is a truly beautiful day to dive deep into the dramatic lives of our favorite Los Angeles families, and we are absolutely thrilled to share these exciting new updates with all of you. Let me start with the absolute shocker that left me staring at my television screen in pure disbelief. The impending betrayal involving Steffy Forrester and Carter Walton. I never in a million years thought I would see these two cross the line from trusted colleagues to passionate lovers right there in the Forrester Creations executive office. My jaw practically hit the floor when I realized they are going to share such a heated, inappropriate moment. Steffi has always been a fiercely independent woman, but the immense pressure of running a global fashion empire seems to have pushed her into seeking comfort in the wrong place. Carter, on the other hand, has always been the moral compass of the company, so seeing him compromise his integrity like this is profoundly disappointing to me. I predict this single moment of weakness is going to shatter the foundation of multiple families. What makes this entire situation so incredibly tragic is the immediate crushing wave of regret that is going to wash over both Steffi and Carter. It completely breaks my heart to imagine them standing there, adjusting their clothes, only to realize they have just detonated a bomb in their own lives. The timing could not possibly be worse, because right as they make this monumental mistake, their respective partners are going to come reaching out to them for reconciliation. It is the classic soap opera tragedy that we all know and love, but that does not make it any less painful to watch. I truly believe that the guilt is going to eat Steffi alive, especially considering how hard she has fought to build a stable, loving home for her children. How on earth are they going to look their loved ones in the eye after doing something so utterly devastating? My heart absolutely bleeds for John Finnegan in this scenario. While his wife is making the biggest mistake of her life with another man, Finn is going to be pouring his soul out, desperately trying to prove to Steffi that he has completely moved on from the trauma of his biological mother, Sheila Carter. Seeing Finn so hopelessly devoted and completely oblivious to Steffi's betrayal is going to be agonizing for me to watch. I have always admired Finn's unwavering loyalty and his gentle nature, which makes him the ultimate victim in this cruel twist of fate. It genuinely makes me angry to think that his earnest attempts to heal their marriage are going to be overshadowed by a dirty secret. I cannot help but wonder how Finn will react when the truth inevitably comes out. Will this finally be the breaking point that turns the good doctor into a hardened, bitter man? Meanwhile, we have to talk about poor Daphne Rose Walton, who is about to make a massive, life-altering decision just as Carter is betraying her trust. Daphne is going to change her mind about moving away to Paris, deciding instead that she wants to stay in Los Angeles and move forward with Carter. I was honestly so relieved to hear that she is staying, because I think she brings such a wonderful, refreshing energy to the canvas. However, knowing what Carter just did with Steffi taints this beautiful romantic reunion for me. Carter has a long, painful history of self-sabotaging his relationships, and it frustrates me to no end that he has done it yet again just as he was about to get his happy ending. I predict that Carter is going to spend the next few months sweating bullets, terrified that Daphne will uncover his dirty little secret. The sheer anxiety of the cover-up is going to be incredibly stressful for us viewers to witness. I can already picture Steffi and Carter having these hushed, panicked meetings in the dark corners of the design rooms, desperately promising each other that Finn and Daphne must never, ever find out what happened. There is nothing quite like the tension of a ticking time bomb secret on this show, and I find myself gripping the armrests of my chair just imagining the close calls they are going to have. My personal opinion is that keeping a secret of this magnitude in a place where everyone is constantly in each other's business is practically impossible. Someone is bound to overhear a conversation or walk into a room at the exact wrong moment. Do you ladies think it will be a nosy intern or a suspicious family member who finally catches them in their web of lies? Shifting gears to the younger generation, the drama is heating up in a way that makes my blood boil, particularly when it comes to Electra Forrester. Electra is going to start throwing her family name around, using the Forrester legacy to assert control over Melissa Dillon's future at the fashion house. I have absolutely no patience for this kind of blatant nepotism and arrogant entitlement. It infuriates me to see someone use their last name as a weapon to hold down a hardworking newcomer like Melissa. This tension is going to spill straight into their personal lives, culminating in a disastrous encounter at the bikini bar. Will Spencer and Melissa are just trying to enjoy a nice date, but their evening is completely ruined by the sudden appearance of Elektra and RJ Forrester. I always feel a wave of secondhand embarrassment when these public confrontations happen. I genuinely worry that RJ is letting himself be dragged into Elektra's petty vendettas. How far do you think this bitter rivalry will escalate before someone gets seriously hurt? Back at the office, the professional stakes are getting higher as Ridge and Steffi sit down to evaluate the new youth fashion line proposed by RJ and Elektra. I always enjoy the business-focused storylines because they remind me of the golden years of Forrester Creations, but this situation is incredibly complicated. Steffi is going to be sitting there judging RJ and Elektra's work while secretly harboring the immense guilt of her affair with Carter. I strongly suspect that Steffi's clouded judgment and overwhelming anxiety might cause her to make some irrational business decisions. Will she approve the line just to keep the peace and distract herself from her own sins, or will she be overly critical? It is a fascinating psychological dilemma, and I am so eager to see how the writers navigate the intersection of corporate politics and personal guilt. We also have some incredibly exciting casting news that has me absolutely thrilled. Kelly Sullivan is making her highly anticipated debut as Darcy Dillon on August 27th. I have been eagerly waiting to meet Melissa's mother because it will finally give us some crucial background on where Melissa gets her fierce independence. Bringing a veteran actress into the mix always elevates the drama, and I am practically jumping out of my seat to see her first scenes. I believe Darcy is going to be a formidable, protective mother who will not tolerate anyone treating her daughter poorly, especially not the entitled Forrester elite. I predict that Darcy is going to shake up the social hierarchy of Los Angeles in a major way. Are you as excited as I am to see what kind of fiery energy she brings to the screen? It will not take long for Darcy to find herself in a massive confrontation, and her opponent is none other than the fiercely protective Katie Logan Spencer. During the week of August 31st, Katie is going to completely lose her temper and hurl insults at Melissa Dillon right in front of Darcy. Oh boy. I have always loved Katie's mama bear instincts when it comes to protecting her son Will, but I think she is making a colossal mistake by attacking Melissa in front of her mother. My heart races just thinking about the verbal sparring match that is going to erupt between these two strong, passionate women. I evaluate this situation as a complete disaster waiting to happen because Katie's sharp tongue is going to ignite a bitter feud between the Logans and the Dillons. Who do you think will win in a war of words between Katie and Darcy? However, all of these petty arguments and corporate squabbles are going to pale in comparison to the horrifying tragedy that is looming over Will Spencer. The show has heavily hinted that Will is going to be involved in a horrific motorcycle accident, and the mere thought of it fills me with absolute dread. Motorcycles have always been a symbol of youthful rebellion on this show, but they also bring an element of terrifying physical danger. I am so deeply worried for Will because he has such a bright future ahead of him, and a severe crash could leave him permanently altered. I cannot help but wonder if his budding relationship with Melissa Dillon somehow plays a role in this devastating event. If Melissa is even slightly responsible, Katie is going to absolutely destroy her. The emotional fallout from this catastrophic accident is going to be the kind of television that requires a whole box of tissues by your side. When a young person's life hangs in the balance, it forces every single character to reevaluate their priorities and their petty grievances. I firmly believe that seeing Will in a hospital bed is going to absolutely shatter Katie and Bill Spencer, potentially bringing them closer together in their shared, unimaginable grief. It is profoundly moving to watch parents fight for their child's life, and I know the actors are going to deliver incredibly powerful performances. My prediction is that this tragedy will serve as a massive wake-up call for the younger generation, forcing RJ, Elektra, and Melissa to put aside their childish rivalries in the face of true mortality. Finally, as the weight of all these secrets, accidents, and lies becomes entirely too heavy to bear, Steffi is going to reach her absolute breaking point. The guilt of betraying Finn and hiding it from the world is going to eat away at her soul until she feels she has to confess to someone. I am so relieved that she is likely going to turn to her mother, Taylor Hayes, because their deep mother-daughter bond is one of my favorite aspects of the entire show. Taylor's background as a psychiatrist makes her the perfect confidant, but even she is going to be completely horrified by what her daughter has done. I evaluate this potential confession as a crucial turning point for Steffi's character arc. Will Taylor advise her to take this dirty secret to the grave to protect her family, or will she push Steffi to come clean and face the devastating consequences? As I sit back and reflect on everything that is coming our way over these next 3 weeks, I am overwhelmed with a mix of intense excitement and deep anxiety. The bold choices these characters are making, from forbidden affairs in the CEO office to reckless motorcycle rides, are going to leave permanent scars on their lives. I have invested so much of my own emotion into these families over the years, and it genuinely hurts to see them heading straight toward disaster. But let's be honest, friends, this incredibly juicy, heart-wrenching drama is exactly why we tune in day after day, year after year. I cannot wait to sit here with all of you and watch every single shocking moment unfold. What storyline are you most nervous about as we head into this stormy season?